Now to the big story of the day, which is the weather. This impending winter storm that is on the way. Hard to tell right now from this live picture downtown Indy, Rob. It's a beautiful afternoon. Cold, but
yeah, I thought the forecast was complicated until I heard Rich Nye's story, and then I was like, okay, I don't have it so bad today.
Lots of twists and turns.
Lots, yeah. And you know what? Look, when I came in, I had the exact same reaction that probably all of the viewers and you guys had when looking at that snow map. 8 to 12 inches of snow, really? But look, when Matt Standridge, Sean Ash, and I all look at the data, we have to take a lot of different things into account. And I think we try not to make any major adjustments. We try not to do any knee-jerk reaction. We try to keep consistency in our forecasts. But we did nudge it up a little bit. And I'm going to explain a little bit of why.
I also like that you guys, you don't hype anything. I mean, you
absolutely
keep
not.
It real.
Yeah.
So more snow than what we originally thought a couple days ago.
And I'd rather go that direction than hop on air and tell you it's going to be a foot of snow and then we have to keep backing down. If anything, we want to make sure we kind of ramp up and let people know, but we always try to be as accurate as possible. So let me show you where we are right now. I'll show you the map. This is what you want to see. I know you want to see the snowfall total map, and this is over the duration of the entire event, 8 to 12 inches of snow. And even I said, okay, are we being too aggressive with this? But look, I'll answer that question the same way that I think Matt Standridge probably answered it, and the way I've answered all the questions that I've gotten really for the last week. Rob, are we really going to get that much snow? I've answered that question, I can't tell you how many times. So I'll answer that. Yes, one reason is because it's going to be a dry snow. Look how cold it is outside. Sean and I were looking at a lot of different data, and it's very difficult to find a storm that came in when the temperature was this cold. Typically, it warms up pretty quickly. We get into the 20s, and then the snow can fall. We're talking about snow falling in the single digits to maybe 10 or 12 degrees or so. That's going to mean higher ratios. This is going to be a fluffy snow. It's not going to take a lot of moisture to really pad those snowfall totals. Yes, because I also think that it's going to be hours and hours of snowfall. This is going to be falling for probably 24 to maybe 30 hours. So it may be relatively light, but all day Sunday this is going to be snow. And finally, yes, but it's going to be drifting and blowing. This is going to drift and blow around. So there may be some areas where we get some snow drifts that are 2 feet, but you also may have your driveway or your walkway that only has a couple of inches of snow because it's all blown around. So just some things I want you to consider that we put into our forecast. Now, as far as the timeline, I do want to go through this with you because if you have any plans, you're saying, okay, I'm going out, I've got this one thing I have to do this weekend, I want to show you the timeline. Here's during the overnight. It's going to stay cold. Single digits with wind chills 0 to 20 below, that's pretty much going to stay with us for the entire weekend. There's going to be a couple of points where we'll get above 10 or so for our actual air temperature, but most of the weekend is going to be cold and no snow for tonight. No snow into the early part of tomorrow. I think once we get through early Saturday morning, we're looking at the snow holding off. Temperatures will start to climb. They'll probably reach around 10 degrees sometime around midday. Once we get into the afternoon, I now think that this is when the snow will begin. It's going to be a dry snow. A lot of this is going to be blowing and drifting around. We could see some minor accumulation here, 1 to 3 by midnight, but most of that's going to be south of Indy. I just want you to keep that in mind. And then looking ahead to Sunday morning, this is when we'll start to see really the main event unfold. This is where snow is going to be likely. Temperatures will warm just a bit. I say warm, but they're going to be in the mid-teens maybe. Roads will likely be covered. Salt treatment is going to be very ineffective at these temperatures. It certainly will go down the lower the temperatures go. A lot of this will blow and drift around, and this is going to continue, I think, through midday, into the afternoon, into the evening, and may not wrap up until Monday morning. So this is going to be a prolonged event that's going to last quite a while. So when I showed you that snowfall total map and I said this is going to be on the higher side, yeah, I think this is pretty good. I feel pretty confident in this 8 to 12. I don't typically like to show you maps that are that high of snowfall totals, but I think that's where we are. Very briefly, I just want to hit the 7-day forecast just to show you here. We have Saturday. We showed you that we're going to have some snow showers arriving in the evening. This is really the bulk of our snow accumulation, but look at this. Wind chills continue to potentially be down as low as 25 below on Monday, and it doesn't improve much. None of these temperatures in the entire 7-day forecast are above 20, and I don't see any relief from that arriving into next weekend.